If you are living like many of us, you have been acting responsibly over these last few months, staying home, wearing your mask on those rare occasions when you do venture out, and keeping clear of large groups as best you can. But despite doing all the right things, many of us are getting restless, especially given the fact that this particular pandemic brings with it many unknowns. And it is now clear that it isn't going to go completely away anytime soon. In my previous video blogs, I have shared multiple insights into how to get better. In this video blog, I want to share another insight, and I want to highlight a couple of fundamentals to getting better at anything that can also help you take back control of your life during this challenging time. The insight I want to share is that while none of us can control the future, we can in fact predict it, and we can predict it to a degree that can give us more control over our lives than many may realize. This is because once you learn how to predict, you can also act on those predictions in a responsible and safe way. But first, you need to learn how to apply the two fundamentals I referred to. The first is putting a feedback mechanism in place, and second is teaching yourself to stay alert to the feedback when it comes so that you can take rapid action to adjust as necessary based on the conditions. Now, feedback and rapid adaptation are not new ideas. In fact, they're part of an engineering method known as control theory. In an article that recently appeared in IEEE Spectrum titled How Control Theory Can Help Us Control COVID-19, the authors explain how control theory can help statisticians predict when it is safe to relax national guidelines such as physical distancing. But individuals can also use feedback and rapid adaptation to help with their own personal approach to the COVID-19 challenge. The fact is, many of us are stuck at home, and for good reason. We want to stay safe. But this lockdown is restricting important activities to our mental health. So let me now share with you how we might use that insight and those fundamentals to help us get better at handling this challenge. So first, I want you to step back, take a deep breath, and think about what's important in those activities that you feel you've been restricted from doing because of this pandemic. Ask yourself, why do I do those activities? What is it about those activities that is essential to me? In other words, what's the goal to me? Now I want you to open your mind a bit wider and think about how you might adjust those activities in a way that you could still achieve the goal, but doing so in a more responsible and safe way. What I am really suggesting you do is to reimagine your new normal in today's COVID-19 world. Let me give you an example. I look forward every year to getting away with my wife for a few days near the ocean. Typically, we travel out of state, stay in a hotel, spend a lot of time near the ocean, and eat out at a number of nice seafood restaurants. But now I ask myself, why do we do these things? What's the real goal? When I ask myself these questions, I learn some interesting things about myself. I learn that I don't really like staying in big, crowded hotels. What I really like, what I much prefer, is to find out-of-the-way, secluded bed and breakfast spots where we typically run into few other humans. And I learn as I continue to reimagine my new normal that I don't really like spending a lot of time sitting on the beach, especially when it's crowded and hot. And it occurs to me what I like most is to get up early in the morning and take a run on the beach when most other humans are still sleeping. And as I continue to reimagine my new normal, it occurs to me that I really don't like going to big, noisy restaurants, especially when you can't hear yourself think when you're trying to have a nice conversation with friends and family. And it also occurs to me, as I continue to think about my new normal, that one of the small things I like about our vacations near the ocean has nothing to do with our vacation near the ocean, but rather it's the quiet conversation I have with my wife as we drive towards our destination, thinking about our vacation we're about to have in the next few days. There are a couple of key points I hope you take from this short video blog. The first is that I am not suggesting that you reimagine your new normal, thinking that your life is now going to follow this new vision you've conjured up in your head. Life always brings surprises. We may plan to eat at a quiet, secluded restaurant near the ocean and then find it is noisy and crowded when we arrive. Life rarely follows the plan. This is where control theory comes in. You can take control of your life back. Start by reimagining your new normal. Then put a signal in your head to stay alert to the feedback as your life plays out so that you know when it's time to adapt to keep yourself and your family safe. And the second key point is that by reimagining your new normal, you may discover for the first time the essentials, the simple things that are truly essential to your life. My approach to getting better at anything is based on the Essence thinking framework and is explained in the book, How to Get Better at Anything. Two of the checklists discussed in the book, relevant to control theory and the Essence framework, are feedback mechanisms in place and adapted to context. For more information about Essence, refer to the book Shy Boys, Notes from 10 Years of Working with Software Engineering Giants. Both books are available at LeanPub or Amazon.com.